Anthropic just dropped one of the strangest announcements I've ever covered. Claude agents can now dream. I am not making that up. It is one of four big upgrades to Claude Managed Agents announced at the Claude conference. And together, they push the agent platform from a smart loop into something that feels closer to a junior employee. In this video, we are going through every single one: dreaming, outcomes, multi agent orchestration, webhooks, what they actually do, who is using them in production, and how to wire them up. First, a quick frame. Claude Managed Agents are Anthropic's hosted agent runtime. You define the goal, the tools, the memory, the model, and Anthropic runs the loop on the Claude platform. You get the console for visibility, you get billing, you get safety guardrails, and you get an API to fire tasks at it. Until today, that loop was relatively standard: a model, tools, a scratchpad, maybe a memory store. What changed today is that the loop got self improving, evaluated, parallel, and event driven. Four features in that order. Feature 1 is the headline: Dreaming. It is in research preview right now, request access only. But it is the most surprising thing in the announcement. Here is what it does. While your agent is idle, a scheduled background process reviews its past sessions and its memory, looks for patterns, and proposes updates to that memory. Things like, this user prefers JSON over CSV, or this customer's contract always uses these clauses. The agent then either auto applies the update or queues it for human review before it takes effect. This is continuous learning without retraining the model. The weights do not change, the memory does. And because it happens during downtime, your live latency is not affected. Anthropic literally calls it dreaming because the analogy fits. Consolidate the day's experience while you sleep. Wake up sharper. Feature 2 is outcomes, and this one is in public beta you can use today. Here is the problem it solves. Most agent loops have no idea whether they actually succeeded. They check whether the model said done and call it a day. Outcomes flips that. You define success criteria upfront in plain English or as a checklist, and a separate grader agent evaluates the final output against those criteria. If it fails, the agent retries with the grader's feedback. Anthropic measured up to 10-point improvement in task success over a standard prompting loop, with the largest gains on the hardest problems. Spiral, the writing agent company, is using outcomes to enforce voice and quality on every piece of generated content. The grader is the missing piece between agent and reliable. Feature 3 is multi-agent orchestration, also public beta. The pattern is simple. A lead agent receives the task, breaks it into pieces, and delegates each piece to a specialist agent. Each specialist can use a different model, a different system prompt, and a different toolset. They run in parallel. Results stream back to the lead, which assembles the final answer. The Claude console gives you full visibility into how the work was delegated and what each subagent did. Two production examples to ground this. Harvey uses it to coordinate legal drafting across specialists for clauses, citations, and compliance, and they got 6 times faster completion. Netflix uses it to analyze build logs across hundreds of CI runs in parallel instead of one slow sweep. The mental model, foreman with a crew, not solo contractor. Feature 4 is the simplest, but it removes a real headache. Webhooks. Long running agent tasks now fire an HTTPS callback to a URL you specify when they finish. So you stop polling. Your backend just listens and reacts when work completes. This sounds small, but if you have ever built an agent that runs for 10 minutes on a research task, you know polling loops are ugly. Now, your queue worker hands off. Your endpoint waits, and the agent talks back to you. It also unlocks composing managed agents into larger pipelines, which is the obvious next step. Let's pull the production stories together because they are the proof that this stuff works at scale. Harvey, 6 times faster legal drafting completion using multi agent orchestration. Netflix, parallel log analysis across hundreds of builds, also multi agent. Spiral, quality enforced on every output using outcomes. Wisedocs, document verification, 50% faster using the new platform end to end. None of these are demos. These are companies running real volume on the Claude platform. The pattern across all four is the same. They moved a piece of work that used to need a human checkpoint into an agent loop that polices itself. Now, how do these four features fit together? Think of it as a stack. Webhooks are the entry and exit. Outcomes is the gate at the end of every task. Did we actually do the thing? Multi agent orchestration is how you parallelize big jobs. Dreaming is the long horizon learning loop that makes tomorrow's runs better than today's. You do not have to use all four. You can adopt outcomes alone tomorrow and get an immediate quality lift. You can layer in multi agent when a single loop is too slow. You can add webhooks when polling gets painful. And you can request dreaming access when you have enough session history for patterns to mean something. If you want to actually build a managed agent today, here is the workflow. Step 1. Define the agent in the Claude console. Pick the model, define the system prompt, attach the tools, configure memory. Step 2. Define your outcomes. Write the success criteria as plain English checks or point to a grader prompt. Step 3. If the task is big, decompose it. Define your specialist agents in the same console. Give the lead the routing logic. Step 4. Register a webhook URL on the agent. Step 5. Kick off a task through the API. The agent runs, the grader scores, the webhook fires. 90% of people watching haven't subscribed yet. If this is helping you make sense of where the agent stack is going, please subscribe and support the channel. It is the single biggest help. Biggest. A few honest pitfalls to know. Outcomes is only as good as the criteria you write. Vague checks give you vague gates. Spend the time to write specific, testable success conditions, or you are just running a slow no op. Multi agent orchestration adds latency and cost compared to a single loop. Use it when parallelism wins, not by default. Dreaming requires session volume. If your agent runs 3 tasks a week, there is nothing to learn from yet. And webhooks need an idempotent endpoint. Anthropic will retry if your endpoint is down. So your handler must safely deduplicate. Otherwise, you double process work. What this means for builders. The bar for what counts as production grade for an agent just moved. 6 months ago, a clean loop with a memory store felt cutting edge. Today, if your agent does not self evaluate, run sub agents in parallel, learn from sessions, and notify your backend it is missing baseline plumbing. The good news, the plumbing is now hosted. You do not need to build a grader, an orchestrator, a memory consolidator, and a webhook dispatcher yourself. They are checkboxes in the Claude console. The bad news for some, this widens the moat for hosted agents over self hosted ones. Bottom line, 4 features, 1 platform, 1 announcement. Dreaming is the bet, outcomes is the easy win. Multi agent is the speed up. Webhooks is the unblocker. Comment agents below, and I will send the Claude Managed Agents cheat sheet as a free PDF with every feature, every production example, the build workflow, and the pitfalls list, all in one place. Hit subscribe if you want more day of conference breakdowns like this one, and grab the 4 guides linked in the description. They cover Claude Code, Codex, Claude in Sales, and Claude Certified Architect Prep. Catch you in the next one.